Have you ever played 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon? Well, in case you're not a huge movie fan, 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon is a game where players challenge each other to choose an actor and then connect that actor to Kevin Bacon through films each of them have appeared in. Now, whether you've played 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon or not, one of the fun aspects of building your family tree online is the possibility of finding connections to notable people. Lots of people want to know if the family rumors about being related to royalty are true. Or maybe you're related to a movie star, or a famous scientist, or an astronaut, or a notorious gangster. If that holds even the smallest flicker of interest in the back of your mind, you're going to love Wikitree's game called Connection Checkers. If you sign up for the bi-weekly Wikitree news email, every issue features a theme for family connections. And the message shows you how many degrees of separation you are from notable people based on the theme. For example, on January the 6th, 2026, the featured theme was people born in 26. They list some notable examples: Queen Elizabeth II, Sir David Attenborough, John Coltrane, Marilyn Monroe, and others. Now, every once in a while, I click the link to see how I'm connected to people I'm interested in. And most of the time, it's a bit of a convoluted chain of connections that includes marriage relationships, which means technically it's not a true blood relation. But strangely enough, as I was researching for this video, I saw I'm 19 degrees of separation from Marilyn Monroe, and would you believe it, it turns out that we're blood relatives. I clicked the link to her profile in the email, and there you can see it, 18 degrees of separation. Not a close connection by any means, but we're 9th cousins, sharing the same 8-time great-grandparents, Sarah and Joseph Allen, who were both born in the 1640s. I never would have guessed that I was related to Marilyn Monroe. Most family tree websites calculate relationships to other people, but Wikitree makes it a fun activity for members to play every other week. Now, there are lots of other projects and games and activities going on at Wikitree to help you grow your tree and to connect with others, and even have some fun along the way. And maybe that journey begins for you today as I walk through how to set up a free account at Wikitree. Hi, and welcome back. And if you're new to the channel, a very warm welcome to you. My name is Jonathan, a retired pastor, a lifelong researcher, computer nerd, and an avid genealogist. I made this channel to help you discover your ancestors, tell their stories, and leave a lasting legacy to pass down for future generations. Today we're going to sign up for Wikitree, the free global family tree. At the time of this recording, which is January 2026, there were more than 44 million ancestor profiles in the tree, and more than 1.3 million community members, all working towards the goal of building the biggest, most connected, and most accurate collaborative family tree. Okay, well, here we are at wikitree.com, and from this landing page, you can read about the Wikitree, but we're going to get right to business here. Go up to the right corner and click Log In. And you'll see here, it says if you don't have an account, click here to register. So we're going to start with a new registration. And just note that it says Wikitree is 100% free for everyone, forever, and you can easily delete a guest account. So we're going to go ahead and click this link here. And now we are at this page where we can create an account. Now, some of you may be concerned about the safety and privacy of your data on a free website. Perhaps you've heard the saying, if you're not paying for it, you're the product. Now, a wiki website is different because it cannot function without its users. So safeguards and user-controlled preferences are essential. If you're skeptical, you really should read the privacy policy and the terms of service for yourself. They're right here, linked down at the bottom of this page. I mean, if you have serious concerns, you really should read those documents. But the bottom line is, if you are deeply concerned, a shared collaborative family tree is probably not the best option for you. Maybe you should stick with something like Ancestry, where the tree is private. Or it can be private. You can make it public, but you can keep it private as well. Okay, so just as we go through this registration process, I'm going to create a dummy account, but I'll just try to anticipate some of the questions that you might have. So first of all, we have the first name, And your first name will be hidden unless you specifically choose to add someone to your trusted list. By default, all living persons are unlisted. But if you prefer to hide your first name, you can use an initial or a pseudonym. That's totally up to you. I'm just going to put in, since it's a dummy account, I'm going to put in generic, and then the last name at birth. Wikitree strongly recommends that you use your last name at birth because it builds connection with other Wikitree users sharing the same surname. So in this case, I'm going to use Mills. You can use anonymous. That's permissible. But that will prevent you from being able to connect yourself to your family and through your family to the broader family tree in Wikitree. You will not be able to see how many degrees of separation you are from Kevin Bacon. Password. An email. I'm on a Mac here and it's very anxious to help me make a strong password. I would prefer to make my own. I'm just going to type in a random string here, and then we have to put in our email address. Once all that information is in, you need to check and verify that you are 16 years or older, that you accept the terms of service and the privacy policy, and it's up to you whether you have your computer remember your login. Just don't do it at a public computer like a library. And then we have to do our anti-spam protections. That was easy. Okay, how do I spell the word 6? Ooh, challenging. Save password. And registration complete. Welcome to Wikitree. We need to confirm your email address, so there should be a confirmation message. So I'm just going to look after that confirmation, and then I will come back in a minute. Okay, we're back. When I clicked the confirmation email, it opened up this page, my Wikitree navigation homepage. And you can see here that we're currently a guest member. And right away, they're saying if you want to upgrade to a family member level, you are asked to set your communication preferences. You can make that as open or as closed as you like for your profile. And just a reminder that everything is free. All levels are free for everyone forever. And then as a guest, they're inviting you to have a look around, and here's the genealogist to genealogist forum. It's just an open forum for people to ask and answer questions. A new genealogist on Wikitree is called a newt, a new Wikitreer. And you can see that my profile for this dummy account that I've created is Mills-33583. You can upload a GEDCOM file, meet some other people. And then down here is a link that shows you how to use Wikitree. And they've even added a link here to close your account if you would prefer to do that. You can also see up here at the top, it says upgrade. And again, it's a free upgrade. So there's really nothing in your profile yet, but we are logged in, so we're able to sort of look around. So one of the first things that I'd like you to notice is that up here at the top, it says generic Mills. That's the profile that I've just created. So whenever you are looking at somebody's profile on Wikitree, their name is going to be here, and this context menu has everything to do with this specific person. If we just hover over here, we see the profile for the person, and if we click here, it will take us to our profile page, which is completely empty because we haven't added anything yet. There's no birth date, there's no place of birth, there's no family, there's no ancestors. It's basically a blank canvas at this point. Okay, well, here we are back at the navigation homepage for generic Mills. And so we're going to go up to this navigation menu here, and we're going to go to the profile. And so just to show you how this works, we're going to add some information here. None of this is real, but it's going to just show you how the process works. Okay, so right at the top, you have the name, the person, and then the birth date and place of birth, which we're going to add in a minute. You have Mills 33583. That's the Wikitree ID. That's the unique identifier for this profile. And then you have your privacy level here. And you see that because it's a living person, the padlock is locked. So it's private with a public biography. Now you can change that. There's all these different privacy levels. You can go all the way down to unlisted. So let's choose that and then set new privacy level. And now that we've done that, it's updated. We can go back to our profile. Now, we want to add a little bit of information. So right under the ID is the pencil, and this is where you can edit. Now, as a guest account, you're only allowed to edit your own profile. So if you try to add a family member or connect to someone else, it's not going to work. You have to upgrade before you can do that. But here we are. It says edit data, and here's the key vital information. And in this case, we've got the proper first name. Everything that's in bold is required. So we've got the first name. We're going to say certain. You don't have to do that, but you can. If there's a nickname, you can add that. We're going to say we're uncertain about that. We leave the middle name. We've got the last name at birth, and then there's the current last name. So if a person changed their name, or if they were married and took on a married name, you would add that here. And then there's a place for other last names as well. Birth date. Now it gives you an example. So I'm just going to say, make something up here. January 10, 1960. Let's try that. Place of birth. Let's say Toronto, Ontario. And you see it populates with various different things here. So yeah, that's interesting. So 1953 onward, you can use Toronto. This Toronto in the county of York, the province of Ontario, that's from 1867 to 1953. So I guess I should use this one. So it's just a reminder that place names will automatically populate, and some of them are limited according to periods of time in history, like that one. There is no death date, so we're going to say still living. And sex at birth, we don't need to worry about that. Then you can see that we've got now the editing family section is where we can add people, but not able to do that yet because it's a guest account. And then down here is the edit text. And this is where we build the biography, where we add sources, and so on and so forth. And they've gone ahead and added the own source, which is first-hand information entered by generic Mills at registration. So, if we wanted to say generic Mills was born in January 1960 in Toronto, Canada. He is a great guy. Okay, so we don't need that anymore. And that's the only source that we have. So now we can go down to the bottom and we can preview it. That's a good idea. Let's have a look and see what it looks like. Okay, there's your preview, biography, born in 1960, he's a great guy, and then the source. So that's great. So that looks good. So before we can save it, we have to put an explanation for the changes. So you can type anything in this box, or you can just choose some of the choices below. So minor corrections and bio improvement, and you see it fills it in for you. And then we commit to full changes. And there we have it. We've got a birth date, we've got a birthplace, and if we scroll down, there's the biography. Generic Mills is a great guy, and there are the sources. So this is what people will see if they come to visit your profile. If you add a person to the trusted list, see we're locked up tight here, nobody's able to find you. If you build out your family and somebody connects through your family and then comes, perhaps your parent is deceased and they go to click your name, it will simply say unlisted Mills. And it might give, like 1960s, like a decade roughly, but it won't give any specific detailed information that anybody would able to use to actually find who you are. But of course, if you invite cousins or siblings or other family members to join Wikitree, you can give them permission to see the information on your profile. And sometimes that's helpful in collaboration. And voila! You've edited your first profile in Wikitree. Congratulations. Whoa, that's a lot of information. So I'm going to leave it here for today. In episode 3 of this series, I'll show you how to upgrade your account, which is something that you definitely will want to do. By upgrading, you'll be able to set your communication preferences and also sign the honor code, which will unlock all the tools for you to get to business building out your family tree. After upgrading, we're going to dive into the real work, how to add profiles, how to modify and improve existing profiles, and how to connect yourself to the tree. That's where Wikitree really starts to shine. But for today, I encourage you to spend some time just exploring. Search for some of your known ancestors and see what you find. Click around the interface and get comfortable. Read some profiles and see how other people have formatted their biographies and sources. As always, if you have any questions about anything we've covered today, drop them in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, go ahead and click the thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss a future episode. I really appreciate you watching, and I will see you next time.